Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Bommer number 2930-632. This is an adjustable tension half surface screen door hinge is what it is. The 2930 infers half surface and adjustable tension. There are different versions of spring hinges available from Bommer, naturally, and the 2930 is what we're looking at here. So, what separates it from other hinges? Let's see here now. Let's dissect the part number. So, the 2930 is a half surface hinge, and what that means is that the leaf that mounts to the jamb as a standard hinge would. However, the half surface part of the definition comes in when you're referring to the door leaf, and that's regardless of the type of hinge or the application of the hinge. When it's half surface, that means the door leaf is surface mounted. So it's half surface or half mortise, whatever you're using, but the term will always refer to the door itself. Surface means that the door leaf is mounted to the surface rather than being a mortised hinge, and it would be mortised to the edge of the door. That's surface mounted. You're going to see that. So in elevation, when you're looking at the door will be here, and the door from your perspective is going to be a right-hand reverse because it will swing out this way. Okay, the door is going to sit in here and swing out this way. That's how that'll work. This also is what is called a loose pin. The hinge pin that's in there can be driven out should you want to. Should you desire to remove that. There'd be literally no reason to move that short of reversing it to put it on the opposite end, because this is sent out in this hand. If you have it this way, you might want to turn that over. Okay. Adjustable tension is also part of the 2930 part number, because not all, although most, but not all Bommer hinges have an adjustable spring tension up here. I would feel the standard requirement for a spring hinge would almost always be adjustable tension. I can't think of a reason to never or to opt for the non-adjustable tension version. It'd be nice to have control over the door rather than no control over the door at all, except for degree of opening, how far you're going to open it. The 2930 is the half surface adjustable tension version. You can also do the 2920, which is a full surface version of the adjustable tension with a loose pin as well. There are non-adjustable tension. If you have a hinge that you're matching that does not have this tension collar up here, this collar with the holes in it, you might be looking for the 2970. That is the half surface loose pin non-adjustable spring tension. Those are not significantly less expensive, but they are indeed less costly. Now, before we get into the dimensional properties of this item, it's available in lots of finishes. You can do these in several finishes. Let's see, 600 for prime coat, 601 for bright black japanned. You can do these also in the 603 finish, which would be a zinc color, 632, which is this, polished brass, 633 satin brass, 639 satin bronze, 640 oil rub bronze, 643 satin bronze blackened like an antique finish, 646 would be satin nickel, 651 is polished chrome, and 652 is satin chrome would be the finish for all of those hinges. Don't think they've missed anything on that list that you might encounter or require. Now, there is a link below this video as well to a document called Template. Actually, yeah, it's called Template, which will give the dimensional properties of the hinge. Let's touch on a few of them here. It will have they call it 2 3/4, and that's going to come into the reference to the frame leaf, which is 2 3/4 tall. They have several other dimensions there. 6 5/8 on the height of the frame leaf. You can study the template itself to perhaps compare that against the existing preparation if you're replacing one to be sure that you're onto the right hinge. Several other dimensions there that I just simply won't get into. The unit is non-handed. You can flip that over and move that hinge pin over like we had mentioned earlier. It is indeed half surface with adjustable spring tension. It is made of steel, and all the part numbers that I gave earlier in terms of the finish, all of those numbers, 632, mean steel base. 632 means steel based with a polished brass finish and a lacquer. If you wanted this same finish with a brass base material, it wouldn't be 632, it'd be 605. That means solid brass base material with a polished finish and a lacquer applied to it. Okay. The 2930 is a beloved hinge because it can handle doors up to 50 pounds if you use 3 hinges, although 2 are quite common. People that are installing these onto doors, those doors generally don't weigh but half of that. So really 2 hinges is what you're probably going to be looking at. And if you have an unusual door that you're using these on, perhaps a 3rd hinge would be appropriate. It's going to include screws. They say that they're number 7 by 3/4. It's also going to include the tension pin and the tension rod. And the tension pin and rod can actually be bought separately should down the road you have a need for those. When you install this hinge, you will install it so that the tension collar is pointed towards the top. You don't have to. You can install it this way. But when the tension collar is installed towards the top, you insert the tension rod and rotate it clockwise. When it's at the bottom, it's counterclockwise. So for this example, right now it's loose. I've removed the pin so that you can attach it and not have any spring tension set on that spring that's in there. When you get it installed, take your tension rod, put it over there, and insert your pin into one of the holes. You know, crank that over 1 hole, or maybe 2, not more than that. Now I've got tension set on that. Go ahead and test your door, okay? And then make adjustments as necessary. You should get, it will not matter when you have such a light type of door, but you ought to get more change out of the behavior when affecting the bottom hinge, because the top hinge is taxed with carrying the overwhelming majority of the weight of the door. So keep that in mind. And obviously you would need 2 of these on the door. You wouldn't be able to actually hang the door without at least 2 hinges. They'll just both happen to be adjustable tension spring hinges. So set your tension, test, and then make adjustments. Tension rod, and you don't want to lose that because you probably will need it at some point. Rotate that out clockwise, pull that pin out, don't let it fall out like me, and then make your adjustments as necessary. Don't exceed 3 holes. If you need to exceed 3 holes to get that to close, maybe 4 if you're going to 90 degree, then add another hinge, certainly. And not a lot to talk about when it comes to spring door hinges. Those doors generally don't have much surface area of material, so there's generally not a lot of air that they need to evacuate out of their way as they're closing. But a very typical sort of item that we sell all the time. The name Bommer is stamped on that hinge. Good quality item. Fun fact about Bommer, everything they do is made in America. 100%. Even the steel that they source is domestically manufactured. That may mean 0 to you. It might mean meeting the contractual obligations of a contract that you're working on. But it's a point that Bommer is quite proud of, as am I to represent them. If you have any questions on the Bommer, number 2930, half surface adjustable tension loose spring storm door hinge or screen door hinge and a 632 polished brass finish, or any other Bommer product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.